What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Marriage and Medicine. I feel like it's been forever since we've done some recording. We've had a lot of things going on in this past couple of months, which has all been very exciting. Again, we got a new house, and so as you can see, we have a little bit of a different background.
Not quite set up
Not
yet.
set up yet, for real, honestly. We got some chairs, we got a nice little table here, but you know, we got to get the wall decor and all that stuff going at some point. But yeah, so it's been very exciting these last couple of months, kind of getting everything put together. But on top of that, what we wanted to talk about today was, if you are followers on our Instagram, you already know, but we have another baby on the way. So it's been definitely exciting from that standpoint, but I'll let you talk a little bit more about that too.
Yeah, it's hard to be excited this time. Like, I am excited, yes, because I do want another child. But it's also hard to be excited because I haven't felt well at all this pregnancy. So it's made it not enjoyable from that standpoint. When we had Naya, that was back in 2018. And when I was pregnant with her, it was a lot easier. Like, there was no symptoms of anything. I didn't have, like, of course I had the common, like, you know, being tired, sometimes nauseous. But that was it. Didn't have any headaches. Didn't have any, like, just nothing. It was really smooth for whatever reason. Right. And on top of that, of course, with not having any other kids, like, I could do kind of whatever I wanted. If I needed a nap, I could nap whenever I needed to. So it was just a lot easier on me that time around. This time around has been like the opposite. I've had pretty much every side effect there is. The nausea, cramping, headaches, just everything that you can think of. And so it's been hard. I'm 19 weeks currently, and so I'm like starting to slowly feel a little bit better by like maybe 5%, but it's still just been like really rough altogether. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, this one again, like you said, just kind of felt completely different all around. Only good thing so far, I mean, the baby has been completely healthy, which is the only thing we really ultimately want altogether. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been a lot of naps, a lot of laying in bed with headaches,
a lot of Tylenol,
a lot of ice packs,
of ginger ale, crackers. Those have been all of my like best friends. So yeah, it's just, it's made it hard to do like a lot of Instagram stuff. As you guys, I'm sure if you follow us there, we haven't really done a whole lot on there. I primarily run that page, but
I'll be chilling.
It's just been so hard to get content together or record or whatever when you're just not feeling well. So I've kind of just stepped back from that a lot. Even with YouTube, I was like, okay, maybe we can cut it back to like one video a month till we have this baby, because it's just been a lot trying to do all of that.
Yeah, so with that, I mean, I think ultimately making that transition from one kid to two kids, that's going to be very interesting altogether. I think it's going to be more interesting to see how Naya does, because, I mean, she's all about me, and so me having to give my attention to something else is going to be fun to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully she just kind of embraces that big sister role, and she just wants to help out with everything, and she's like, you know, all googly-eyed, but
I think she will initially, just because, you know, it's a new baby and something new, but once she sees, like, how much time goes into that, I think she'll be like, okay, like, I thought I liked this thing, but not anymore. And I think especially, like you said, she'll be more upset about you with the baby than with me, just because she's really obsessed with you. But also she's in school now for part of the week, so I think, you know, that'll be nice. On those days, I'll just have one child at home that I can kind of focus on. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to balance both of them at home. I kind of feel like in the beginning with a new baby, they're not really like...
Yeah, they don't do too much.
They don't do anything. They just eat, sleep. They can't even really play up until a certain age. So it might be easier at the beginning with like splitting the time between the two, because you just like, okay, feed it, put it down, okay, do whatever with Naya. Right. But then once the next one is like mobile, is when it's going to be trying to figure out between the two, like, how to split the time. I think we're just going to have to really be intentional about making time for her by herself, not always like together.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, if you guys have any tips for making that transition, or just want to share your experience, you can definitely leave a comment. We'll take a look at that also.
Yeah, because I'm sure we'll need it.
Yeah, for sure. So something else that has also been different along with this pregnancy compared to our first one was when we had our first one, I was in residency still, which has its own challenges in general. But with this baby, I'm already an attending, and so having a baby as an attending is a little bit different. A lot less stressful, I would say, because when it comes to affording, getting things, building the baby's room, all that kind of stuff, I can do so, and we won't really have too much issues from a financial standpoint to do that. But on top of that, it's just the free time. If she was having a terrible pregnancy like she's having now while I was in residency, that would have been tough.
Yeah. I mean, the only benefit was that there was no kids.
Yeah.
So I could just,
just kind of lay around if you want to. But yeah, it's
but
still
it'd be
different.
lonely in a sense, having to deal with that. So
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. Having a lot more free time is beneficial because again, I get to take over. Like I can take Naya, let you go do naps and all that kind of stuff. And so it's worked out altogether.
yeah, we had Naya at the end or towards the end of your first year, and so going into second year of residency is tough in general for EM because usually that's a lot of like surgery,
ICU.
ICU rotations, and so that second year, which was like her first year of life, was a little busy. So we were trying to like figure out like, okay, what can we do? But it's also hard to do stuff with a baby because it's like they can't do anything. So I was trying to like figure out, okay, like a routine, maybe things for us to do, and then like right as she was turning 1 is when COVID happened. So then like
Lockdown.
literally you can't do anything. So it's like the stuff we were just starting to do then, we couldn't do anything anymore. We just had to stay at home. And so it was like a lot of going outside or going out on the porch. And then we moved also like right after COVID happened. So that time frame for her was kind of hard, and it made things a little bit more difficult. As far as raising her compared to now with this one,
Stable.
we did
Stability.
move, but I mean, I was so early on in my pregnancy, it didn't matter. And so now, like being here, we're already settled in by the time this next baby will come, and just like you said, having more freedom, definitely having the finances, because I think you kind of underestimate how much a baby costs. Like,
I had to quickly. Yeah.
You know a baby is expensive, but I don't think you really know how expensive they are until you have it, and then you're like, geez, they went through a box of diapers in a week, or they went through formula in like 3 days, and it's like just stuff keeps adding up. Like
even before the
more.
baby even comes, like we already have a bill that's due in October or something. For
my OB appointments.
Random couple
I'm like,
$1,000.
how do I get billed before I even had a baby?
We didn't even do anything yet. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so it was this time around, that was something I wanted to make sure is when we did have another child, ideally I wanted to wait until residency was over, just because I didn't want finances to be like another stressor with having another child. So I do feel like, yes, from that standpoint, it's like, whew, okay, I don't have to worry so much about like budgeting all these little things and like, oh, now we gotta go buy this again and buy that again. It's like a little bit more relaxed, at least from the financial side.
Yeah.
Now, if I could just get the health side like
It's
that,
good,
it'd be better.
Yeah. And one thing we also have to always make sure that we do, that we'll have to focus on doing, is just, again, making time for each other is kind of the next thing. So we finally started being able to go back on dates alone with Naya being in school.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. Like, Tuesday, Thursday mornings when she's in school, we've been going on little morning day dates. Just trying to, again, connecting and all those kind of things like we've been doing. It's different when you're by yourself versus having a kid with you. You just kind of get more undivided attention and not having to make sure they're not getting into whatever. And so that's been nice. And so we're definitely gonna have to make sure that we continue to try to find a way to do that. It's different when you have a little baby because they're not doing anything, but as they get older,
it's still not the same though.
It's still not the
it's
same.
like,
Yeah.
I only get this for a few months and then right back to having a child with us. But
for a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely very important. Again, if you plan on having kids, just making sure that you always put your spouse first in certain things, and making sure that you're cultivating that relationship as the first thing, honestly, because again, kids are going to leave. But once those kids leave, it's you two. And so you have to continue to build that relationship in order to make sure that it is still stable once the kids are out the house, or I mean, even when the kids are in the house, but especially when they leave out the house, because that's when a lot of things seem to change.
So now when you think about like transitioning from one child to two children, I think the only concern I have, or I guess worry, is trying to balance going from one to two, like having two children at home, because I do stay at home. So it's just a matter of like trying to get that routine down when you have two kids, especially on days when I have to get Naya ready for school and I might be at home alone that morning, trying to figure out like, okay, I need to feed this one and then change this one, but then I need to do this one's hair and this one needs to eat and whatever. So just, I know it'll probably take a few months of getting used to that, but just figuring out that routine of like what times we do what when.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm, I guess, worried about in a sense, but at the same time, not really, because Naya, when she was a baby, like, we found a routine, I feel like, pretty quickly. The only issue with her was like trying to get her to sleep on her own. She didn't like to sleep like being put down. She liked to sleep on somebody all the time. So it kind of made it hard to get stuff done. So I'm just worried about focusing on making sure that they're both on a routine and sticking to that routine. And then also, like I said, trying to make sure that I spend time with both of them, not always just together, but even separately, so that Naya especially doesn't feel like, oh, well, now this new baby's come along and it's just kind of changed everything for me and I don't even get any attention from her anymore. So those are kind of my main two that I have to really pay attention with when this next one comes.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, exciting times altogether. I mean, adding another baby to the family is just something we've always wanted to do. To be decided on if there's any more after this.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say never. No, I don't know yet. But right now, I feel like no.
We'll see.
We have a gender reveal video that we were going to share. I'm not sure yet if we are going to share it or not on YouTube. But even if we don't share that, we will share on Instagram what we're having. And so, yeah, I don't know. We're going to see. I'm not really sure if there's a third one in my future, honestly.
Is what it is. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Again, feel free to follow us on @Marriage and Medicine on Instagram. We'll see you guys in the next video.